off the mark. Gather round sovereigns, we're navigating our pineal glands with Meeks, Kali, and Tootie Odin, reclaiming our native lands. We're off the mark.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ahoy, hoy, and welcome to another episode of Off the Mark. Welcome also to 2021. We made it. We're here. It's time. So let's celebrate a little bit. You know what I mean? Take the mask off if you're home.
Not yet.
So yeah, man, 2021, we're starting a little, kind of a little light, only because as you guys are well aware, last year, we left Instagram, which kind of hit us a little bit as we were just starting the podcast. Instagram decided they were going to hit us with this low blow of changing their rules in the most ridiculous fashion. So really quick, we just want to bring you guys those rules. Not to change anybody's mind about their Instagram. I miss it so much. Don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, there are certain choices that we get to make in life, and Off the Mark, the podcast, happened to have made that choice to leave that platform, and you guys will find out why in the next few minutes. Before that, again, please like, share, and subscribe, comment. We're getting feedback constantly, and on top of feedback, we're getting lots of equipment ideas, lots of donations for equipment. We started a Patreon simply for that fact, because we are getting a lot of support, and we appreciate all of it, and would appreciate even more because we're ready to get this show on the road, almost literally, probably literally.
Yeah. I'm coming.
Miss Kali, how have you been? I'm so sorry. I forgot you were there.
It's me. Hello, Tootie. Welcome to 2021. It's an exciting kickoff to the year, and yeah, we've hit the ground running, but things are shifting, but we're rolling with it, and it's exciting what we're going to create in this new year. And yeah, it's incredible. How do you feel? How was your new year?
Hit the ground running, indeed. The new year was itself was good. The holiday itself was okay. We were hit with some low blows, which we will talk about a little bit later. But overall, I am thankful. I am grateful.
Right.
And I'm just thankful, grateful. I can't say much else. I am still looking very much forward to this year, no matter what.
Right.
You know, so just like in 2020, we're ready. We're gonna stay ready, and that's all there is to it. You know, year goals. What is it? New Year's goals, resolutions.
Right. So I guess to recap at where we left you at the end of December, we had started our solstice online cleanse. We were starting to get some following on Instagram, so we really appreciate all of you that have been following and supporting and liking and sharing with us there. And then on December 20th, Instagram issued new rules and regulations that were going to be going into effect, which it just incidentally happened to be the day before the Great Conjunction on the 21st. So, you know, there was just definitely some peculiar timing there. But soon as they announced the new rules and regulations, thankfully because, you know, just by using the app, you're consenting to it. So, you know, they sent an email out. There's like sometimes like a little button at the top of your page that you might just miss when you log in because you just start scrolling through the feed. But as far as they're concerned, it has been told to us. So thankfully, a lot of our digital soldiers, you know, screenshotted them and have been circulating them, and so it came to our attention and we really wanted to bring it to light, so we were posting about it as we were leaving Instagram and bidding everyone farewell. And a lot of people were participating in this Instagram exodus because they were agreeing that they do not consent to the new rules and regulations Instagram was implementing. And so we are finding ourselves now in this new place of navigating where to go. But before we get into too much of that, we're going to review them with you. So we have an article here of Instagram new terms of service will allow them to analyze and record anything from your camera and other invasive policies. So in this, this will include that information in or about the content you provide, like metadata, such as the location of a photo or the date a file was created. It can also include what you see through the features that we provide, such as our camera. Notice they say our camera, not your camera, even though it's on your phone, but since the app is using it, it's theirs. So we can do things like suggest masks and filters that you might like. Masks, huh? So they're obviously studying your face then, not just in this, filter sense of putting sparkles or whatever on you. That you might like, but also, like real-time masks, or give you tips on using camera formats. Our systems automatically process content and communications you and others provide to analyze context and what's in them. So as mundane as that may seem, well, it gets deeper, but already on just the face level, it's apparent when you're using Instagram and you try to slide between the different menus of your messages or to the story, that it automatically turns on the camera. So it's already live and active. It's not like a black screen that flips on when you slide over to the stories section. It's the camera's on, whether you have the front facing or the rear facing camera. So anytime that you're using the Instagram app, it is watching you at all times. And it's observing you. It's noticing your eyes, whether, what space of the screen that it's looking at and stuff like that. And of course, it's all for the benefit of your user friendliness, like I'm sure you find the post you like even quicker. But I don't know, Tootie, what do you think about that, just to start?
My thing about this was, and it's always been the thing that I would always say, maybe just for lazy argument's sake, but they're doing it anyway. They're just being open about it. Now they're just being blatant with it. The details that are involved in their fine print, in their rules. Now, these are Instagram's rules. These aren't something that, these aren't paraphrased. These aren't paragraphs from somewhere else. These are their rules. The things that they put in the fine print that nobody seems to agree with, which again, like I said, for the most part, we already know that they're doing this. When it's no coincidence, and maybe there's some people that still may believe that it is a coincidence, but to me, there's no coincidence of even just mentioning, oh, I need to go buy some rice. And then you see an advertisement for rice on your Instagram or your Facebook. Like, wait a minute, did I type that in?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's happening more. It happens to me every day, no matter what. I could mention the most random thing out loud, or again, I can make a purchase. Even if I do make a purchase, everything is connected from my card because of my card apps. And it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy to see all these things connected, and at the same time, you don't even realize it's happening until it's already happening. You know what I mean? And it's because at first it did seem like a coincidence, right? Like when this was what, maybe 4 years ago, this kind of started happening. Like, oh man, that's weird. I was just talking about that. You know what I mean? So it's
you just miss it, that like, oh, I must have clicked on something or searched an article, or like, it just is, it's algorithms and stuff like that. But no, it's just being like more and more blatant, where it's almost like the phone must have read my mind. I didn't even say it out loud that time. I just thought about a place or thing that I wanted to. And, I don't know if it's just because the phone is connecting the dots in the same way that my mind did, that I read this article and this article, so it made me think of this actor or whatever. But yeah.
I think the lenses, I think there's something in the camera lens that connects to our eyeballs specifically, so that when our eyes actually go to something, the camera recognizes, hey, they're looking at that. They're interested in that. They stayed longer. They dragged their finger longer on that advertisement. I really do think that it gets broken down that way. On top of, you were just talking today, we're able to see when our audience loses interest. We're able to see the dips. We're able to see the highs, as far as the episodes go. For us personally, you know what I mean? I can imagine the access that these companies, big companies who are paying for this information have. We have that small access to dive into what our audience thinks about us. I can imagine what it's like on a bigger scale. And the facial recognition thing, my gosh, like I said, that's been one of those that I've always been like, oh, they're doing it anyway, but now they're telling us they're doing it.
Right.
So, and by us clicking, oh, cool, yeah, I accept, because Instagram's cool, we're accepting that that's what's happening now, mask or no mask. So
right. And we have been conditioned to just accept like the location pinning and all those kinds of things, but like the more and more invasive that gets, and especially when we're stepping into a new era where our location can implicate us in a certain way that we're being cooperative or not, you know, then there's just more and more things that are confessing on us, you know. So let's look at the next one. So next, they talk about your usage and how they collect information of how you use our products. But so every time I'm saying "our," we're speaking for Instagram because it's the language of the rules. But the section that stood out to us is the actions you take, the people or accounts you interact with, and the time, frequency, and duration of your activities. Like Tootie was just saying. So whether you click or not, just how you have what you have presented on your screen for how long and how frequently you respond or swipe past something, you know, and they're able to tell even when you go onto the general like search screen and they have all those random suggestions, even from pages that you may or may not follow based on the hashtags you follow or not. Like they can tell whether you instantly go to the search engine, whether you're impressed by it, whether they like caught your aesthetic, you know, and you like breathed it in for a moment or not. If you were like, this doesn't concern me, this is just jamble, and I'm like going to my place. So they're sensing all of these things. Like we need to start realizing that it's not just as easy as flipping on a light switch that we're using this device. Like we have a relationship with them, like we're interacting and interfacing with them. Okay, so like the next thing are the things others do and information they provide about you. So we also receive and analyze content, communications, and information that other people provide when they use our products. So this can include information about you, such as when others share or comment on a photo of you, send a message to you, or upload, sync, or import your contact information. So it doesn't even have to be you. One of your friends, of course, can be sending like your phone number to another person, of course, and then it's property of Instagram because they just so happened to DM that, or you could try to be considerate or mask your location on your photo, but if somebody just so happens to comment, oh, I know that restaurant, that's by my house, you know, Instagram is connecting the dots. They're saying right here, we're paying attention to all of these things, you know, all these connections. We're making the connections. They're social networks, right? They're pointing out to the cerebrum of it. Okay, next one, they have like networks and connections. It says we also collect contact information if you choose to upload, sync, or import it from a device, such as an address book or call log or SMS log history. So they're also becoming aware of your contacts, especially if you just so happen to like download an image that somebody texted you and then you happen to upload it. It's not anonymous that person sent it to you. They're going to be able to read your phone and know where that came from. So, you know, thinking of this in terms of like a potential witch hunt, you know, you can start to see some of the implications of this and how they're like kind of tagging us at every step along the way. Okay, and then
I like how the very next sentence says, which we use for things like helping you. Like that's the second half of that sentence. Like that's insane. You know what I mean? We use this to help you, just, you know, so just in case anybody decides to read it, you know, I mean, it's just, what do you mean? Like how okay, to finish that, it says helping you and others find people you may know. Well, it's like, there's already ways to help for us to find people we may know. Like nobody's going to go missing, and this is going to help you find the missing person.
right.
I mean, and when you brought the GPS thing up, or the what is it called?
The like location.
Yeah, those. So I was like,
Pinning, yeah.
I go hiking, and most of the time I go by myself, and I go super early mornings. So you know, just for the isolation alone. So a lot of times I do have my phone on me. I don't turn the location on, but at least having my phone on me, it's already going to have a location on whether I have it on or not. my phone's going to always ping where I'm at, no matter, especially if I'm close to a tower, and you can't go 5 feet without a tower anymore.
Right.
So, I have my phone just in case, but I don't, we even, like I said, even without the location on, God forbid anything were to happen to me, they'll find me. I'm confident of it. You know what I mean? It's crazy, So it's like, you look at it one way, oh, it's for our safety, but then you look at it another way, it's like, wait a minute, like, that means this thing knows everything. This thing follows me everywhere.
Right.
Unless I leave it in one location, and then but the thing is, we become so dependent on them. Like you said, we've built a relationship with these things.
And like you said, they are for protection too. Like how many, that seems scary now to go out at night for a walk without your phone.
Right, exactly.
That seems irresponsible even,
Exactly. It's crazy how we become so dependent on them. And again, it's not, here's the thing, just like with every other analogy, Star Wars, man, it could be used for good, it could be used for bad. And right now, this device, it's education at our fingertips, it's information at our fingertips. It is a very powerful tool, and it is and can be used for good. But we do have to recognize that there are those people that aren't seeking to help us. This isn't for our convenience. What is so convenient about Instagram, aside from being able to network? But again, there's many other platforms for networking that aren't trying to be so invasive. So it's just a matter of being able to pick and choose and research. And again, because it is big tech, there's no guarantee that all of these platforms will be able to keep their word. The ones that do have our own privacy as their first interest. There's nothing to guarantee or to say that if things will stay that way when it comes to technology. We have no control over that.
There's always like popularized hacks of, Target got hacked for their credit card people, or Twitter got hacked for a bunch of accounts this last year. So
TurboTax got hacked. In fact, I was just so there's people that are already filing taxes, and somehow their tax money or something about the tax information got switched and turned and mixed around into other people's accounts, and they have to fix it. And if it's not fixed by the 15th, anyway, it's this big old thing. But it's like these digital companies, they can either break like that or digital currency. How scary does that sound to you? Oh no, it's so convenient. No, man, if you have $45,000 in the bank, that can go like that.
Right. Castles made of sand. It's just like flip of a switch.
It's just a calculator. It's just you could press CCCC backwards and it's on.
Times squared. Yeah.
Carry on, please.
Carry on. So the next information we obtain from these devices includes so device attributes such as information such as the operating system, hardware and software versions, battery level, signal strength, available storage space, browser type, app and file names, and types and plugins. So they're basically reading your entire phone. They know how frequently you charge it, how long you'll stay on an app before you think that you need to charge it, or if you're charging it just so that you can stay on the app. They know what type of phone their users are using, so they're able to categorize us in that sense of this type of phone user uses our app. All those things. Okay, they also do device operations, so information about operations and behaviors performed on the device, such as whether a window is foregrounded or backgrounded, or mouse movements, which can help distinguish humans from bots. So, it's like, again, for our protection, but they know like how your mouse is moving on the screen. And like we said, they're reading your face diagnostics too. So like they're able to see your eye movement. They know whether you're working on something else at the time that you have Instagram on, and it, so when you swipe it away, it's not entirely gone. And then the next thing is identifiers. So unique identifiers such as device IDs and other identifiers such as from games, apps, or accounts you use, the family device IDs, or other identifiers unique to Facebook company products associated with the same device or account. So again, this can be brushed off as something insignificant, because of course there's a bunch of like third-party different apps that you can connect to your Instagram account. Like you can feature your Instagram on your YouTube, link it to your LinkedIn or whatever. So it seems like inadequate or like irrelevant that they do that, but it's reading your phone. It knows, has an entire profile on you of what apps you're using, and identifying your devices. It's able to know what device you're on, how many devices you have, and the location of each of those. It's also reading your device signal, so your Bluetooth. It also is reading the data from device settings, so information you allows to receive through device settings you turn on, such as access to your GPS location, camera, or photos. Network and connections, information such as the name of your mobile operator or ISP, language, time zone, mobile phone number, IP address, connection speed, and in some cases, information and about other devices that are nearby or on your network. So we can do things like help you stream a video from your phone to your TV. So they're reading all of your devices, and of course, it's for your convenience. So you can put your phone on your TV, but also Instagram knows about your TV and which device it is and what kind of TV it is and where it's located, because I guess they need to know that. Cookie data. So data from cookies stored on your device, including cookie IDs and settings. And you can learn more about how they use cookies through Facebook, of course, too. They have that. We also have data from device settings. So information you allow us to receive through device. Hold on. Sorry. So the public information. Okay. So public information can be seen by anyone on or off our products, including if they don't have an account. So this includes your Instagram username, any information you share with a public audience, information in your public profile on Facebook and content you share on a Facebook page, public Instagram account, or any other public forum. You, other people using Facebook and Instagram, and we can provide access to or send public information to anyone on or off our products, including in other Facebook company products, in search results, or through tools and APIs. Public information can also be seen, accessed, reshared, or downloaded through third-party services, such as search engines, APIs, and offline media, such as TV, and by apps, websites, and other services that integrate with our products. So basically, they're saying that once you add it to this public space, that you're giving them permission to share it however they see fit with whoever parties that they happen to have. So you may think, right. So you may think that like, I'm an influencer, I'm going to upload this food recipe so I can teach people about health. Seems simple enough, right? Or yeah, innocent enough. But if they can not only use that to see how many people are interested in that particular recipe, use your photo for like diagnostics on your phone, or where like photography is at this scene, or different aesthetics, or like use that for their rebranding of influence of where, kind of the scene is going, all those kinds of things. Basically, it seems just a given that if you post something publicly, it's going to be available to the public. But I love the way that they worded that, because it really spells it out that like you're putting something out there that you cannot take back. And we're so quick to like share, intimate photos of our family and our homes and everything. And we're like just releasing these little bits and intel about our life that we can never recover. And you may think again that you're posting a picture of a recipe, that somebody's just looking at that because they want the recipe. You have no idea why anybody looks at any particular picture, especially if it has a body in it. So, we just always have to be careful of what we present publicly. And yeah, that essentially they're saying that they're sharing it with their products. So simply by using Instagram, you are becoming their product.
Right. Yeah,
that's exactly what they're even selling. That's what people are coming to see, is what you are doing there.
Yes, they're selling you. Yeah.
They're selling you on Instagram.
gross.
You're selling you to Instagram.
Yes, yeah. Because but it's free.
But it's free. So we'll read the last one and then we'll kind of like recap like where this is all headed. So it says research and innovate for social good. So we use the information we have, including from research partners we collaborate with, to conduct and support research and innovation on topics of general social welfare, technological advancement, public interest, health, and well-being. For example, we analyze information we have about migration patterns during crises to aid relief efforts. Learn more about our research programs, and you can Google it. But so now I'm just kind of putting this into context. So we've seen a couple crackdowns over the course of 2020. So this isn't the first one. It seems that every quarter or so, every couple months, we've had one. So we just had another big October 1st, there was a whole new rules and regulations on Instagram too. So then for them to update it again and like up level even more, just 2.5 months later, you know, and each time they've been doing more and more intensive crackdowns. There's been an intense since October, especially a lot of censorship on our personal pages. Aside from Off the Mark Cast, we both saw a huge decline in our views and likes and stuff like that of 50% initially in October. For me personally. So there's a lot of tons of pages, of course, that were just removed altogether, sometimes without notice, or were flagged for, you know, ridiculous things. We had a bunch of our posts that were flagged from like March, you know, in October. It's like, are you checking back? What's it? So there was definitely like, you know, a witch hunt basically of the uncouth information that they didn't want out there. And Instagram is been very forward now with where they stand of what is their appropriate information of what you're allowed to talk about there, of what the purpose of their platform is. And so now it's up to us. It's kind of like any relationship. Like you can have your interpretation of a relationship that you have with a person. You can like feel a certain way from how they treat you or how you spend time with them. You can have your own impression of where you think it's going, like building your business or making these connections, or, you know, using it as a tool just for your own inspiration or finding information and content and all these different things, looking up recipes or checking in on your friends, whatever your purpose is for it. Where I was going with that, but yeah, that just Instagram has their own outline.
For me, the one thing and like you said, like aside from everything being flagged, like I've been getting this from on Facebook forever. I get told on a lot. My if you go to my Facebook right now, it's like a warning orange, whatever that is. I'm always getting kicked off of things there. And again, I'm not a bully. I'm not mean. I'm straightforward. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I get that part. Okay, I'm trying. But it's basically just more information. It's basically more just information that's disagreeable, be it logical or not. And I'm sorry, be it logical, because the truth is, I would never put myself out there to put something that's going to make me look silly, for one, and two, like all I do is try to put out truth and try to put things out so that you know we can make these connections and understand that no, man, it's not. I'm not going there with this. This is an opinion. This is just a straight fact about what's going on with this, and this, whoop-de-whoop. But and another thing about the Instagram is I noticed my commercials on my phone are different from your commercials on your phone.
Yeah.
You know, everything is so conformed and tailor-made. If I put on Spotify right now, my Spotify commercials are going to be like about high blood pressure, because I always be looking that up, about weight loss, because I'm in a weight loss or not always weight loss thing, but anyway, I'm always looking up because I'm always looking up workouts. I'm always like looking up
like health.
Yeah. Well, anyway, those are the advertisements I get, you know, out loud. It's like, I'm like, oh, turn that down. You know what I mean? Stop exposing me. You know, I why can't I get like where's the Marlboro man when you need him, you know?
Right. Miss those days.
But so it's crazy that like you said, the way you worded it, we have a relationship with our phones, and it's, when you look at it that way, dude, it's sick. This is our first robot. Our phones are our very first robot. And it's another thing I was mentioning to somebody is we don't even have landlines anymore.
Right.
I heard a landline ring the other day, and I was like, that's cool. House phone. So yeah, it was
Vintage.
you would think, right? Like, and on the other end of that token, like you said, it would be silly and irresponsible of us to leave our phone at home and go out without it, because what if something were to happen and this and that? So yeah, and this is exactly why these app companies are getting away with these things so easily, because we've already heeded to it.
Right.
Years and years ago. It's no problem for them because it's been no problem for us. So yeah, the I don't have the numbers, unfortunately, on how many people or how much of a decrease or how much it affected Instagram, the Instagram exodus, if any. But
I mean, they're getting new accounts every day too, so.
No kidding, huh? I'm just happy that there were people that actually took a stand. And another thing was the fact checkers. Fact checkers was a new thing that happened in the last couple of months, as far as I've seen. I've never seen.
Oh yeah, every post was getting like flagged if you said anything, of the current events or health related that wasn't on their narrative.
I want to say now, I'm so tired of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's that was good stuff. That was good stuff.
But yeah, it's heartbreaking a bit to leave, because I mean, we were definitely in a different position. I know a lot of people have a bigger following perhaps than us, or we're even more established on the platform where it essentially was their storefront. So I know it's a lot, everybody's coming from a different place as far as where they can of what to do about these invasive policies. What do you mean? What does that mean to you? For some people, they may feel like, oh, they're already listening to us about everything already anyways, so how does this change it? Now they're just putting it in writing. But it is, now that they've told you, we can't feign ignorance. We can't say that like, I didn't know. Now it's on us, and every time that they release these new rules and regulations, we're lockstepping more and more into this Orwellian world. And it's not like such a far-fetched picture right now. Like, we're seeing the details, like there's just the finishing touches right now, to put it fully into place. Like this idea of like thought police. I mean, those fact checkers, exactly, like we would repost sometimes clips of just like a news report on Fox or whatever, and it would get fact checked. It's like, I'm just replaying what Bill Gates said, his own video clip in his own words, but because it's like coming from our page and I suppose the context of it, like that they're teetering on that. So we decided that we do not personally consent with those new rules and regulations, that we personally could not continue having a page, that we weren't really willing to make the sacrifices of what that would mean to acquiesce to having that type of invasiveness and being aware of it. And it is a sacrifice. We did, like there's a lot of amazing accounts on Instagram. We've used it as an incredible tool of research and phenomenal widespread range of topics. We've made incredible connections on there. So it's definitely like, it feels like a hit. It feels like a loss. It feels like a breakup. Like we live together. I still find their stuff sometimes, I was like logged on this, old tablet I had. It's like, oh, you remember, but yeah, it's funny because at first, we were deciding, okay, what do we do about this? Do we just like stop posting new posts after the December 20th when the new rules went into effect? But we realized that it does also work, retroactively, that what you have up there still currently public still applies to all those same rules. And then also, as long as you have an account existing at all, if it happens to be in the ghost background logged into any of your devices, like we had, closed out of our accounts. Well, I just like deleted the app initially off of my phone because I didn't before the 20th. And then I found a couple days later that I logged into my computer or my laptop and I just typed it into the web browser and it remembered my account on there, so they're so interlinked. It's like hard to even find on the settings where to go to even cancel and close out your account to begin with. So they make you have to like dig and find it and beg for it. And then they still take 30 days for you to like change your mind. Like we're still going to hold on to your information for a little while longer for your safety, just because, you might change your mind. So yeah, so we know not everybody's in that position necessarily to just up and leave and delete your whole account. And, like we have some pictures, especially if you have pictures of your family and kids, and it's kind of like a photo album. You know, I don't know how much the privacy settings protect you, because maybe you're preventing you from seeing some accounts, but it's still in the Instagram system. So, I mean, they still can send it for their third party people for whatever they need in that respect. So yeah, so we did decide to delete the accounts, and when we were leaving, when the exodus was happening, there, you know, it was kind of confusing of where to go next. Like everybody kind of, some people are going to Parler, Telegram, Tumblr, you know, like it's been kind of spread across the board. So we're still kind of finding our niche again and seeing where everybody's at. So definitely, like, you guys can comment below, let us know where to go, where the cool place is that's not too invasive, that's like the people's social media, where, you know, like straightforward algorithms and all that.
We're in the lunchroom, like, holding our trays, ready to sit down, you guys.
Right. We're looking at the
table.
Wave us over. But in the meantime, you can still find us here on YouTube. We'll still be posting videos at least bi-weekly, but we're looking to do every week for you guys in this new year of 2021. We also have our Patreon, so we definitely invite you all to join us there for early access to our episodes, as well as bonus episodes and exclusive content, depending on the different tiers that you can sign up for there. And yeah, we have our Linktree / Off the Mark Cast. So you can also go there to just stay tuned to where our new hub is kind of moving around. So we're testing the waters in different social media pages. We have our Twitter, we have Rumble, we have Discord. So you can look for us on all of those. But yeah, check out our Linktree or the links on YouTube here to see where to find us. And yeah, we definitely.
Firstly, I want to say thank you to Miss Kali, because she's worked super hard on these things. I checked our Patreon today. It looks great. Patreon.com / Off the Mark Cast. I myself am going to join soon, as soon as I get my stimulus check. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm so excited. Thank you, ma'am, for all the hard work you put into everything. The YouTube revamp, the page looks great. Thank you. You are goddess.
Oh, and sorry to backtrack, but I realized I did want to say too that for those of you that choose to stay on Instagram, we did want to cover some safety tips that just to help you cover your bases there. So if you look at some pictures of like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, you'll notice that on their computer, phone, or devices that they have a sticker or something covering the microphone and the camera, especially when not in use. So just to be more and more mindful that we have a public, we're live streaming basically ourselves 24/7. Every time that our phone is turned on, like as long as the battery's in there, basically, that we're broadcasting ourselves, where we're at, what we're doing, what we're looking at, what we're thinking about, what we're saying, and that all of our devices are paying attention to us, basically. So just like a child, when a child's in the room, you watch your language, you know, we need to start treating our devices like that. They're still a tool. We're not saying like check your phone yet, but you know, in the meantime, just being mindful of security measures like that, covering your cameras, especially if you're doing something that you absolutely do want to be private, covering the microphones if you can when not in use. You can of course take it off like we do now while we're doing our recordings. If you have an extra or older device that you can just completely swipe it of all the contacts, of all the all other apps than just solely Instagram, and have, you know, your old phone or tablet or something be your Instagram tablet. Make sure that the Bluetooth isn't linked with any other devices, so it's not reading the room of your other devices that you have assigned. And use a separate email to send yourself the images or content or whatever you're going to be uploading to Instagram. Frankly, to us, that just seemed like such a hassle to go through all those steps to protect yourself to do it. And that also, ultimately, it's not a sustainable space that we wanted to continue building in, because even if we did go through all these protective measures to make ourselves feel, you know, morally okay with continuing to use the platform, it could still, you know, in a snap be be deleted. So we're just wanting to invite everyone to not fear the Instagram exodus too. If you're on the fence about quitting, just know there's a great, big, beautiful world out there. You know, I used to spend, you know, I'm ashamed to confess how many hours on Instagram a week, you know, or a day. But yeah, it's, you know, you utilize the time with different things. We're creative beings, and there's plenty of sources that are going to try and you know, like devour that from us. So it's up to us who we spill and invest that into. You know, Instagram isn't the gatekeeper of whatever we had going on there. It's not the gatekeeper of our relationships, of our income, of our communication, of our research, of whatever it was fueling to us. You know, the power's inside. Like we had the power all along. And yeah, it's exciting to think of what new we can create. And if those better platform doesn't exist, like, you know, it's going to come about in 2021, I'm sure, because where the people are ready, and we're finding what the solutions are going to be. If it's not sustainable, it's not continuing. And so yeah, it's in our hands.
It's in our hands. We have the power, as I said before.
We have the power. It still stands.
Thank you for that, because yeah, and I'm telling you, I've been saying it for, I don't know, well, so basically for the last few months, but like forever. Hey man, they already have the information. They're already gonna watch us, this and that. That's why I was like, yeah, they're gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? But like you said, like the important part about it is, now that they're telling us, we can't feign ignorance. We can't say, oh no, I didn't know. No, it's happening. So that's the stand. That's where the stand comes from. You know what I mean? It's not about, oh no, I don't want them to be so invasive. I'm not hiding anything. It's not necessarily about that. It's really just about literally taking a stand to something that we can no longer be ignorant to anymore. You know, at the end of the road, I'm seeing Mad Max times, man, where we just get rid of the devices completely. That'd be a dream come true. But at the same time, where do we go from there, as we've been so dependent on them for the last 20 years, if not longer? So it's interesting the way things have changed just in the last generation or two, you know. So well,
yeah, we don't want to revert back to the dark ages and then just do this whole cycle again, of course, you know. So we definitely have to like be moving forward.
So yeah,
the technology is there, and it doesn't, you know, there's patents and stuff like that. So of course there's certain elements of it that is owned and privatized in that sense. But you know, a lot of the technology, it's just part of nature. It's part of what is. All of technology is just a replication of nature. Like headphones are replicating the ear, you know, like where microphones are replicating our mouth and stuff. So they're, you know, it's in us and ours to birth out, and we just got to think outside the box of what that means. And maybe, you know, maybe the internet shuts off and we don't have that available to us anymore. So what does that look like? How are we connected, you know? And so actually that's another thing that we want to incorporate a lot more into Off the Mark cast moving forward this year, is figuring out like what that technology within us is, and working out our intuition and our powers. That's really going to help us to navigate through all of this and be able to discern from what's true and what's deception, and yeah, just find what we're capable of. And you know, all those types of things that start to occur, of synchronicities and signs, you know, that seem to just play out perfectly, where you get that perfect revelation, or things just kind of start to work out. That can happen more and more, that we get into this flow and this alignment, this right vibration, and just really tuning into our intuition instead of just handing it off to whatever the TV tells us. So we're going to be working on that as well, and empowering ourselves in that sense. And you know, there's times where you think about somebody and then they call you. So who knows, you know, where like social media could go from here. Like the sky's the limit, really. And but really it is just about having more of that self-reliance and drawing back in our power, not placing it in all these other megalists that can, you know, decide when or not we get to use it, or how, or you know, to what extent. So you know, it's us, and we're so excited for you guys to be on this journey with us on this podcast, and for supporting on the Patreon and all of this, and for transitioning with us from Instagram. We look forward to what's ahead.
Yeah, the support is phenomenal, and I keep my fingers crossed that it stays that way, and I have no doubt that it will. So thank you so much for all that information. on the Instagram.
Thank you, Tootie. You're amazing.
Bring it. And again, ultimately, the decision is yours. You guys stay on Instagram, do what you got to do, man. Like it's all on us. You know what I mean? So this thing was not about placing judgment on anybody. It's not about scaring anybody. It's not about changing anybody's mind as far as that's concerned. It's just to put the information out there, and simply that's it. This way, like Kamiko said, I love the way she put that. Just not, so that we can't feign ignorance anymore. You know, and ignorance is it's not bad. Ignorance is bliss.
Nice.
So, you know, that's it. You know, just there's nothing. I hope this episode was more positive than anything, and more informative. Most importantly, more informative than anything. So again, thank you so much, my dear.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I guess one last thing I want to wrap it up on is that, you know, they're putting these type of restrictions and stuff in place to discourage us, to silence us. So it's just all the more reason to be vigilant. Like, they're going to try and knock us down. Like, this might not be the last one. Who knows what YouTube is going to hold for us in the future too. So, you know, this might not be our permanent platform either. We're going to roll with it and see what transpires. But yeah, it's up to us again.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. But we'll see.
Yeah, so just check us out, support. And again, just thank you guys, man, for the support that's already there. Like, we're just so pumped and so excited about the things that are happening, the episodes that are about to, you know, we're getting ready to talk about. Like I said, I think our next episode is going to be about the Nashville bombing, which I hope you guys didn't forget about, because that's a big one. That's an important one.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's a good one. So I'm gonna take this to a real quick different direction. This past New Year's, myself and Miss Kali, we lost a very, very dear friend of ours a few days ago. Not only a friend of ours, but a friend to many, and a legend here locally in Long Beach. So we wanted to dedicate this episode to him, not by any means politically relation or affiliation, just simply because he's our dear friend and he's already being missed terribly. And his name was Sammy. He was sick for a while. I don't want to disclose any public information or any private information I'm not allowed to, but apparently he was sick for quite some time, and you know,
it's not COVID related.
It's not COVID related, no. But you know, the higher power decided to take him home. He leaves behind a beautiful 12-year-old daughter. He was an amazing parent, an amazing co-parent, and I'm just very, very happy that I got to tell him how proud I was of him, because he grew the hell up so quick. And man, I couldn't ask for better men in my life as far as my good friends are concerned. And he's gonna be one that I'm gonna miss dearly, big time. So Sammy, we love you. We're gonna miss you forever. And this one's for you, man. Stay powerful, bro. Love you, man.
Love you, Sam.
Hey there, boys. Spread the